Is DOGE dead? Well, it depends who you ask.
According to a report Monday from Reuters, the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency still has 8 months left in its mandate. But when a Reuters reporter reached out to the Office of Personnel Management to check on the department's status, OPM Director Scott Kupor reportedly said, quote, "That doesn't exist." Kupor went on to add that it's no longer a centralized entity, and OPM has taken over many of its functions.
Oh, arrow to the heart. But that report was slightly undercut by the DOGE X account later Monday, posting in part, President Trump was given a mandate by the American people to modernize the federal government and reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. Just last week, DOGE terminated 78 wasteful contracts and saved taxpayers $335 million. We'll be back in a few days with our regularly scheduled Friday update. And Scott Kupor backed that up, writing in part, the truth is, DOGE may not have centralized leadership under the U.S. DOGE service, but the principles of DOGE remain alive and well: deregulation, eliminating fraud, waste, and abuse, reshaping the federal workforce, making efficiency a first-class citizen, etc.
Despite the denials from the Trump administration, some on the left are attacking DOGE for fizzling out. Left-wing commentator and former Rising host Marianne Williamson, writing on X, DOGE saved no money, cost tens of thousands of people their jobs, decreased government efficiency, and actually led to the death for people whose lives depended on certain medicines as well as food. I heard from someone close to him that Musk is actually regretful. He was high most of the time that was going on, after all. It was suggested to him that he should apologize to the nation.
I don't know that Elon should be apologizing, but I am pretty upset that this promised commission to shrink the government is inactive after its charter hasn't even expired yet. I mean, come on, guys. We're failing on very, very basic promises. And the people, the young guys who've been brought on as part of DOGE, they're working for other departments now. They're working
like the Department of National Design
to make
making websites look nice.
And I won't say that's not useful work, but we wanted to really shut
People
down.
who are supposed to save money for our governments are now designing websites. That's not a waste of money?
Well,
they were hired to save money for our country, and they're designing nice websites.
Okay,
how much do you go on the government websites for usability or just for information? We just copy paste.
Well, people use the healthcare websites, and I mean the healthcare website being non-functioning was a big crisis for Obama.
Are they working on that one website's usability? I don't know. I had to look into that.
Okay, you know what? I roll over. The government should have no websites, and there should be no agencies, and it shouldn't exist. That's what I wanted. Fine. This is sad. It betrayed a fundamental lack of seriousness about the task of shrinking government, and obviously Republicans are just liars when it comes to shrinking government. They talk a good game, but then when they have the power to actually cut anything, they don't want to cut very much. You know, they're doing some good stuff in terms of firing employees. They're restructuring the education department. I'm excited about that. We're going to, I think, talk about that a little bit later in the show. So I'm glad that the spirit of DOGE lives in the hearts of man, not one day a year, but the full 365. But come on, it was supposed to be an actual thing, not just an ethos, not just a vibe. And I hate that, but the X account is still operating. That's the whole problem with the right in general. It's just content. It's just, you're serious about posting about it. This is a critique I'd have of the administration overall. Like, so much thought goes into these tweets from Homeland Security and from other departments and from ICE and from, it's just they care more about creating content and entertainment and television than they do about actually fixing the government.
You're just speaking for both of us today. You can just anything
Yeah.
else. You know,
I actually wanted to cut government.
And I was actually, you look really disheartened, and I totally get that.
I know, I'm like the little kid whose dad promised we go fishing, and
then never
he's
picked
off
you
with
up.
his secretary or something, and I'm stuck with the fishing pole on the stoop, and nobody's coming to pick up little Robbie.
I will say that on the Hill last night on News Nation, Blake Berman pulled up a chart that showed how much both Democrats and Republicans spend and bring up our deficit constantly. And it's not only Democrats, it's also Republicans, so there's not much seriousness there. But I will say DOGE may have been an ambitious effort, but it also wasted a lot of money. The Partnership for Public Service, which is a nonpartisan advocacy group, found that DOGE's actions actually cost taxpayers around $135 billion.
I'm too sad
in the first 100 days. Because the federal worker productivity dropped, they fired and rehired people on a cycle, and many other issues. So did DOGE really save us money? We don't know.
Maybe next summer, kiddo, says
Up
Dad,
next,
failing
Trump's
to take me
approval
fishing.
rating on the economy has dropped in new polling. Stick around for my lens.